Hello, I would like to do a report for what happened last night. Today is the 23rd of December. Last night, 358 children were gang raped and 13 of them were murdered in 19 MILAB child trafficking locations. And it seems that the weapons they've been using on me have been shut off, at least momentarily. And so I'll be able to speak in a more clear manner, and I won't be like so crazy. I'm sorry, this is very difficult to do. And the reason that they all weren't murdered is because Dick Cheney has ordered 1,200 children for Christmas Day. And heaven says it's not going to be an exact number. And I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand most things. You know, because my question a long time ago was, if they're going to be arrested anyway, why can't we just arrest them today? Because I guess there was all these other people that had to be arrested first or whatever. I don't know most of the details. And the locations were Crawfordsville, Texas, Dallas, Houston, a location in Alabama, I don't know the city, Atlanta, Langley, Virginia, Arlington, Virginia, Wilmington, Delaware, Washington, D.C., the one in New Jersey, this time both New York City locations. The MILAB is located in the financial district, Wall Street area, and then the other location is in the UN building. And because so many politicians around the world rape children, virtually all of them at this point, they have to have a special place in the UN building. It's in the 10th level down. And it's specifically set up to rape children. What they do is they keep the children in cages, and then they drug them while they're in the cages, and then they bring them out into these big rooms because they all like to watch each other rape the children and murder them. It's like a very group thing, and all the children are drugged, and they're all strapped down to the tables. And I was raped right alongside these children. And I've been taken to 14 of these locations. And seven times I was rescued by the Galactics. And also Detroit, Boston, Indianapolis, Minneapolis, Chicago #1, Chicago #2, and Los Angeles. Attending last night were 412 CEOs and corporate executives, 17 United States senators, 5 members of the House of Representatives, 16 governors, 56 state troopers. Wait, before I go to what's going on in Indiana, let's go to the state troopers. We're mostly from Maryland, Texas, Colorado, California, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York, Virginia, North Carolina, Michigan. And there were, did I say 16 governors? Yes. On the governor's list, not all of them current. There's Pataki from New York, Andrew Cuomo from New York, Greg Abbott from Texas, Mitch Daniels, who is now the president of Purdue University, who was the man who acted as our former governor here in Indiana. This man, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's from the state next door, John Kasich or John Kasich, the governor, current governor of Ohio. Jerry Brown from California, former governor. Minnesota's Mark Dayton, and Nevada's Mike Sandoval, current governor. And this is part of a group. There are 819 beings, and they have to have some kind of assistance to appear human. And they're, as far as I know, the next round to be arrested. They've been arresting round after round after round, starting with the darkest of the dark, and heaven calls it the lowest of the low. And we started arresting them. It was this group from Alphas Draconis, and then there was another group of 300,000, and then there was 458, and then 294, and then another round just got arrested a few days ago, and then another group from Beta Cancer just got arrested. And there were 76 of them. Okay, in the Indiana MILAB, there were 17 children. And 12 state senators were present, and 10 state representatives were present. And I would like to point out that serial pedophile, who the Indiana Attorney General, Greg Zoeller, was not there. And heaven announced to me very loudly that Mrs. Zoeller is about to kill her husband. She's really upset. Yay, Mrs. Zoeller, yay, welcome. Welcome to heaven's side, Mrs. Zoeller. We've got one on our side now. You don't have to murder your husband. He's going to get what he's coming to him. Don't worry about that. And also, we have an Indiana politician, Christopher Judy. Christopher Judy is not raping children. I found a politician in Indiana. His name is Christopher Judy, and he's not raping children. Is he the only one? It seems like it at this point. Mike Pence, of the 13 children that were murdered last night, Mike Pence gang raped, well, him and his friends gang raped and murdered another little boy, and he killed him while choking him to death. It was a 6-year-old boy named David. He was abducted in Alabama, and I'm sorry, I don't really know Alabama that well. So the only thing I could zero in on his location was that this little boy named David lived about 200 miles from the sea. And this little boy, 6-year-old boy, was raped 41 times by 41 men in Indiana, and the 41th man was Mike Pence, who murdered him. Mitch Daniels was there last night, and he raped a 10-year-old girl. And she was abducted in Columbus, Ohio, and then brought to Indiana. And also attending last night's festivities, Barack Obama has murdered his 260th child last night. Joe Biden murdered his 95th child last night. Mike Pence was his 11th child. The Texas governor, Greg Abbott, who's raped 178 children, his 12th child he murdered. Senators attending were I just can't even stand to look at him. He's so vile. Bernie Saunders, Dan Coates, Joe Donnelly, Marco Rubio from Florida, Chuck Schumer. Oh, he's another one. He's another Nazi war criminal that's parading around as a Jewish man. And this is like, if I had a computer that worked, I could do like a 3-hour episode about how they took all these people who worked in the Nazi concentration camps in Germany that killed thousands and thousands of people, and now they're senators, Hollywood celebrities. I think half of Hollywood worked in the concentration camps in Germany. I just freak out every time because my family just gave me that video, the second, the maze kids are running around in the maze, and the first time I picked up this movie and I saw the first episode, I screamed because one of the children worked in the concentration camps in Germany, and he killed thousands of people. And a senator from next door, or wait, it was governor. No, we're doing senators, was Mark Kirk, Illinois' Mark Kirk. And I had the governors on a different, no, I said the governors already. I'm sorry, I just get so upset when I do this, and that's why I write everything down, because I want to make sure I have all the details. I want to make sure I have all the details right. But this goes on. Usually they gang rape and murder hundreds of children every weekend. There's 41 locations of MILABs. 2 of them are in London. And one is located 17 stories below Essex Road in London. And that's the one where they train all these people that they make up all these stupid names like ISIS and ISIL and ICE and IL and everything else you can imagine. All those people are on the CIA payroll, and most of them are trained at that location. And then the other location is near a military base in London, and that's where they rape most of the children there. Of course, in England, this has been going on for years. All you have to do is search David Icke. And David Icke, who I love very much, and you know why? Because he's been fighting for children's rights for years. And so has another man named Kevin Annett. And I just hope that we can stop all these children from being raped and murdered. I know someday, the funny thing is, we need to do this is desire. We have to have desire, because most people in the United States of America don't believe that people like the Bushes and the Cheneys should be prosecuted for murder. And that's why I have a big problem with this illegal corporation called the United States, which is privately owned corporation owned by men who rape and murder children, because most of the people think, oh, really? Well, Ronald Reagan raped another little 5-year-old boy? Well, I love him too much to ever want him to be prosecuted for that. George Bush has murdered over 500 children while raping them. You think anybody wants him prosecuted? I know it doesn't really seem that way, but I hope that someday, once there's a tipping point or something, I don't know, heaven says it was preordained, but I don't understand why. But anyway, your prayers, if you want to know what your prayers are doing, anyone who's praying to stop this is being protected by Mother God herself in heaven. Heaven is protecting those of us who are fighting to bring this child trafficking situation to an end. So if you're praying and you're afraid that they're going to come after you and kill you, don't worry about it. Keep on praying because heaven is taking care of you. Thank you. I don't know how we could possibly have a Merry Christmas because Dick Cheney is planning to murder around 1,200 children that day. Thank you.